Alright, so now that we have all these urns, it's a perfect time to maybe render the video. Essentially, we're going to use the rune crafting urns. Here we go, we got 25 rune crafting urns. We made them in the last episode. Now we're going to use rune crafting, essentially, mainly to get rid of these lamps in our inventory. And because we're going to have to do it anyways, we might as well do it now. Then our inventory will be empty, and then we'll be able to level up woodcutting, construction. We'll be able to do dungeoneering because you need a completely empty inventory, and maybe it'll make everything else more efficient with 2 more spaces. So if we click the hood, we say teleport hood. It'll teleport us to above the wizard's tower, climb to the top of the wizard's tower. So we enter the low level Runespan. And then we pretty much just siphon from the guys in here. So you could siphon from these guys at the beginning, although over there is pretty much the best place to go. So right from the start, we'll just say run over here, run to this platform. So it would be to the south. You need 1 air rune to cross. So we'd say siphon an air rune from the air essence, or you get them from the mindstorm, right? The cyclones. Siphon air runes from the cyclones. And then what do we need to get across the other platform? Essentially, we'll try to make our way over there. So you might as well siphon from that thing. Get to level 2, so we have 6 air runes. We can pretty much go over here. He's not one of these things, so he's not going to give us any more rune essence to use, so we're just going to leave him as soon as we can. And then if we could go over this platform, use the float platform. This one's amazing because it has rock fragments. Examine rock fragments, requires rune crafting level 9. So as soon as you turn to rune crafting level 9, these spawn here all the time. And then the examine water pool level 5. So we could siphon from these things, I guess. Usually there would be cyclones and mindstorms that are here too. Like level 1. That's perfectly fine. We could siphon from these things. They'll level us up pretty good. And then they'll give us more rune essence, which will allow us to AFK more in this place. Oh, we're going to start the timer. So we're going to see how long it takes. I'm pretty sure it just takes like 20 minutes. Maybe 15 to 20 minutes to get to level 33 rune crafting. Maybe it's 30 minutes. But here's the mindstorm. You siphon from these will give like 20 experience each. And then as soon as you turn to level 5, you just siphon from these water things when you see them. And then siphon from these rock fragments when you get to level 9 rune crafting. And you pretty much just stay here. There's absolutely no reason to stay here. There's all these things here. Now we can siphon from the water pool. It'll give more experience. And maybe we'll end this clip, right? Because eventually we're just gonna siphon from these rune crafting urns. So they do work in here, right? You could look at them, you can see the percent. Should be going up when we successfully take something. There we go, 13%. And then when you teleport them, they'll give you rune crafting experience. So it's absolutely amazing because you don't ever have to go bank here. You pretty much sit here and siphon from them. And if you didn't have these urns in your inventory, you'd essentially be losing out on 20% extra rune crafting experience. So it would make it go 20% faster. So he has spawned here, siphon from the water pool. And when you run out of these rune essences, you could just click on the floating essence to collect them. So now we're level 7 already. We could actually almost go to these things. And this thing just spawned here, and maybe that did recently. So maybe we'll just record this too. And then when we come back, we should be higher than level 33. Oh, the rune spear has spawned too on the top floor. So if we hop worlds and we manage to find the rune spear on the lower level, we could get a free 25,000 experience. So now that rune spear has spawned, we could hop worlds and try to find it. Essentially it spawns on like different times in the other worlds. Could be like a 30 minute difference. I think we found that because the rune spear spawned on one world, and then we were hopping worlds trying to find the rune spear, and it had not spawned on the other worlds yet. So rock fragments, these will give you even more experience. So what did they give? 28 experience? Amazing. So considering, you look up here to see if the rune spear is active. If it is, it would have spawned here. So you can pretty much just start like flipping worlds. Try to see if you can find a rune spear on the bottom floor. Like generally the rune spear spawns every 2.5 hours, so it's on the middle floor. So they're all on the core. We won't try hopping too long, we'll just hop a little bit. If we missed it, then we could always come back somewhere. So it's on the core in every world. So the fireballs, 14. It's also a good way to find good nodes. If there's nothing on the island, right? There's only cyclones and mindstorms. There's nothing here. Literally, all you would do is hop worlds until you find something. Fireball would be the best thing to siphon from at level 14, which there is 2 of them here. Or you could even ignore the rune spear and just let's hop worlds until we find something good. But the rune spear would help us. But it would help us more if we were like if we were at level 33, so we could get to the second floor of the Runespan. Cause that's where most of them would spawn. They'd spawn on the top floor and the middle floor most of the time. Oh, chaos on the middle floor. Yeah, see, we can't even get to it. But we do know that we might be able to find it. Just if we hop worlds too much, it's going to tell us you've been hopping worlds too quickly, too much. And then it'll lock us out of the game for 5 to 30 minutes. So it's the thing on the middle floor. Maybe we shouldn't worry about the rune spear until we get to level 33 Runecrafting anyways. So basically we are, what, level 11? Let's try hopping a few worlds. Because we do have to render the other episode, and then we do have to end this clip at some point. Yeah, we'll just hop like maybe 1 or 2 more. We don't want to go to the UK. We want to go to... So essentially we're not sure, but if you hop worlds that are located closer to each other, maybe there's a lower chance you'll get the lockout timer for hopping. That was somebody's theory on the Reddit anyways. When we were locked out, we're trying to read everything. So it's like the core on every single world. So essentially we just missed out. Essentially we missed out on there. Oh, that one was on the bottom floor. So if we did start runecrafting a little bit earlier, we could have gotten the rune spear. So I guess they're going to be gone on pretty much every world. This will be the last world we try to hop to. And then we'll just be hopping worlds to try to find better nodes. Because that is a really good tactic where you just hop here. There was literally nothing on the island on that world. But if you hop here, there's 2 rock fragments here, which is absolutely perfect. So when you're running low on these, if there's nothing to do here, you just collect from the fragment and then it'll give you 25 of them. And then you can siphon from this thing again. So we'll come back in a little bit. It'll probably be a bit. So it just disappeared. Siphon from the rock fragment. Or you could just stay on one world. It's not too bad staying on one world. Although it would be better to flip worlds so that you could find the best nodes possible all of the time. Instead of going to other islands, right? People say go switch between the islands, try to find the best nodes. But the better option would be to just switch the world to find the best nodes. Alright, we're back. So we're basically level 33 runecrafting. So there's absolutely nothing on this island, right? If you were to hop worlds, then maybe there would be something on the island. So a water thing just spawned. Although you're mostly looking for those rock fragments and preferably the fireballs. So essentially, when we have been hopping worlds, there has been something good to siphon from. Generally, if there's nothing here, you could wait, you could siphon from those nodes, or you could just hop worlds like what we have been doing. So essentially, this would take like 40 minutes. So there wasn't anything here, right? Usually when we've been switching worlds, we've been finding something. Oh, here we go. This rock fragment literally just spawned right here. So since this thing just spawned right here, it's gonna be here for around a minute maybe. Level 33 allows you to go up the vine ladders. There'd be absolutely no reason to stay down here anymore. As soon as you get to level 33 Runecrafting, takes around 40 minutes. So it takes less than an hour. And these Runecrafting urns, we used 4 of them, and they give 700 experience, right? You have activated, you have teleported, you gain 700 rune experience. Essentially, teleporting the urns were like one full level. It's pretty cool. It's like you got to level 25, and then it was like you teleported the urn, and then you got to level 26. So then this would be where you start in. This is where you teleport in. We're running over here to the vine ladder. So we could collect the floating essences on the way. This part is free to play. Free to play can climb up the vine ladder. It's just the top floor that free to play can't go on. So free to play is alright. It's just level 40, I think, maybe level 35. So there's a fireball here, but there's a fleshy growth over here. Fleshy growth would be the absolute best thing for free to play to siphon from. Fleshy growth would be the best thing. It just gives the most experience. 46 experience. 46 compared to 35. Well, compared to like all the other lower things too, right? 46. Let's just go to search Runespan. And why is it 21? What is happening? That's not sorted low to high. There's another fleshy growth here. Let's siphon from the fleshy growth. So we clicked on Runecrafting and low to high, Runespan. There we go, and now it's showing properly. So the firestorms, and those are free to play. But what level are the chaotic clouds? Level 35. If you are a member, as soon as you turn to 35, you want to get chaotic clouds, which are right over here. Those things on the next platform. So essentially, maybe we should keep the timer going. We started doing this again. Maybe do Runecrafting for 1 hour. Maybe around like 1 hour would bring you to level 40 Runecrafting. That'd be a pretty good base. We do have the lamps. We could stay here for another hour, right? Just because that we could get to level 55 or 60. Oh, that's right. We wrote down that the rune spear should be spawning at 6 o'clock. So actually, considering we know when the rune spear is spawning, we're level 33. We can go to the second level. Maybe we'll just come back in 1 hour, and then we hop worlds, and then we search for the rune spear, and then you gotta get our 25,000 experience. Because the thing about the rune spear, if you see it spawn on the worlds, and then you're hopping worlds, and then it's pretty much the core on all of them, just come back in 2 hours, and then the rune spears would have pretty much just started spawning at that point. So we could siphon from these, or we could just leave, right? Let's just leave. Let's teleport to the Archaeology Guild. We don't need to be here right now. We'll come back here at 6 o'clock. We'll use these things at some other point. Essentially, the rune spear is something you do every single day, and it just gives you straight up 25,000 rune experience. So considering we got like almost 20,000 in like 40 minutes, that would save quite a bit of time of training. Well, we were just on the lower levels, so maybe not as much as we think. But there's another strange rock to add to the collection. Eventually, we'll have to go through these strange rocks. But let's end this clip. That was the Runecrafting. We're going to have to do more Runecrafting at 6 o'clock. So let's see how long the video is. Maybe we'll do something in between. So this will be Runecrafting and something else.